My name is Richie, also known as Dry Cutter on Instagram. I'm just super excited to be here with you guys today on this beautiful Monday. I can't wait to share these awesome new techniques with you guys. I just wanted to run through on how I would approach a shag haircut. A very simple way, very salon-friendly haircut. It's a very hot topic at the moment. You see the haircuts all over the magazines, all over Instagram. And the question is, how do we get there, right? So I'm just gonna walk you through very easy sectioning, very simple steps for you guys to get there without any problem, with full control. So I have my mannequin here. I'm gonna be cutting with my 6.5-inch Monarch right hand non-swivel shear. All right, it's probably my favorite one right now that's in my drawer. Love how light it is. It's also made with Hitachi Achi 314 Japanese steel. It's literally one of my favorite scissors that I have in my drawer right now. It's what I use on the regular. I also travel with it a lot when it's time to teach classes. So I just wanted you guys to see that. I come from a background of Vidal Sassoon, Bumble and Bumble, huge companies out there that I've had the pleasure of training with, and I just can't wait to share with you guys these amazing techniques today. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be starting off the haircut on the side of the head here. Okay, so what I do is I separate from ear to ear, and I leave this completely isolated from the front. All right, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that we're gonna take all of our sections going horizontal. We're gonna be pulling 90 degrees up from the head, and we're just gonna be pulling everything to that side, all right? And we're just going straight, parallel to the ceiling. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that on the other side, right? As soon as we're done with that, I'm gonna show you guys how to connect the back, okay? Because that is the main question, is how do I connect my layers or my face frame to the rest of the haircut? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do that, okay? So our first section is going to be a horizontal section. And let me know if you guys can see that okay. So we're gonna start off in the front area here, which you would call the fringe or the bang. And this is gonna be your guide for the rest of the haircut. So let me go ahead and turn my mannequin head so you can see that pretty well. Okay, so why guess when you can measure, right? So a good thing to do is just take your section straight up and see where that's gonna fall before you cut it. All right, I feel like that's a little too long. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and place that somewhere around here and see where that lands. I think that's about right. So I'm gonna recomb this section, and I'm gonna be holding my fingers in a short to long position. And what I like to do for this particular is, instead of putting my thumb over the scissor, I like to put my thumb under the scissor, okay? I just feel like it's more comfortable for me, and I get more of a precision cut with that. So once I drop this piece here, let me show you guys what that looks like, okay? So that, we're gonna subdivide, and we're gonna see where that lands us. So right now, we are touching where the cheekbone area is. Let me go ahead and saturate that a little bit more with some water. So now that we have our first cut, okay, what we're gonna do from there, guys, is what we said in the beginning. We're gonna take a horizontal section, okay? And all you're gonna do is just push the hair into that section. And there's a reason why I won't comb it from this way, okay? I feel like when you comb from this way, it allows you to push it more towards yourself, right? So I found it that it's a lot easier and you get more control combing it from the side that's coming from your chest. So from the inside, you're gonna comb out. And then you're just gonna go ahead, find your guide, and you're just gonna cut that. This haircut tends to come along pretty quickly, okay? And that's what I really love about it. And why waste time when you can save time and spend more time detailing, going in, giving her a nice blow dry, and styling out the hair and do those little editing moments that you need before you go ahead and put this up on Instagram. All right, so again, I'm going short to long, okay? And I'm just cutting right to my guide. So now all I'm going to do now is, instead of subdividing the bottom, I'm just going to bring it all up to the top. And remember, we're doing horizontal sections, pulling it 90 degrees from the head, going straight up, and then doing a short to long angle with your scissors. I mean, with your fingers, sorry. Now, my left side is completely cut, okay? So now all we're gonna do is, we're just gonna check that and see what we got. So as you see, the face frame is already in, you got the fringe, and you got the angles coming in now. So the first side is complete, okay? From there, we're gonna move to the other side, all right? So I'm gonna show you how I approach that on this side, moving this way. Same deal. All you're gonna take is a horizontal section. I hope you guys can see this pretty clear. If you guys can't, please let us know. So again, my guide from the front is literally right here. Let me put this a little closer so you guys can see that, okay? So my guide is literally right there, all right? Can you guys see that okay? So we're gonna bring it straight to the guide, and then we're just gonna cut. And what's the rule of thumb? We don't cut past the second knuckle. And the reason for that is we lose tension as soon as you go past that second knuckle. So if you were trying to cut this all in one shot, right? And you go ahead and boom, 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 and cut that, by the time you get here, it's not gonna be the same. And the reason is because the tension isn't there. And tension is one of the most important things to use while you're layering hair. And why is that? Because tension creates softness. So the more tension you have on your hair or on your section when you're pulling it up, the more softer the line's gonna be. Just like when you're doing a no elevation haircut and you're doing a one length, there's no tension, right? So all the weight is gonna be driven down to the bottom. And that's what haircutting really is, the distribution of weights. So here we are, going again for our horizontal section. We're gonna pull it 90 degrees with the short to long angle on your scissors. On your fingers. Short to long angle on your fingers, guys. So as you see, this haircut's coming together pretty quickly. We're moving along here just fine. We're already a quarter of the way through her haircut. Okay. So now let's drop that. And again, instead of subdividing the bottom, just bring it up, okay? And what that's gonna allow the hair to follow the shape of the hairline and of the head, because we're cutting off the roundness of the head, right? So anytime you're layering, what you wanna make sure is that you're following the head shape, right? So because I'm at the top of her head, this is where it starts to get round, but then right here is where it starts to get flat at. So by elevating up, I'm bringing all this hair up, I'm putting a good amount of tension there. What that's gonna do is it's actually going to frame in the same shape as her hairline is. Whether it's a mannequin or if it's a client, that's gonna give you the shape right there. And look at that. We got a nice layer haircut right there in the front. We have our fringe already set. And that is how you want to create your angles, your face frames, your layers in the front here. That'll give you the shag effect, okay? So now is gonna be the tough part. We're going to go ahead and connect the back to the front, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. I hope you guys are enjoying this class today. I was super, super pumped to be here. I couldn't wait to get on here with you guys live and share these techniques. And here we are. Let's go ahead and wet her down a little bit more. Down. All right, so how do you connect the back, right? So what you want to do is when you're connecting the back is you want to take more of like a pie section, okay? This is the roundness of the head, right? So this is where it starts to get rounded out. We get to our occipital bone and then it goes flat. So because of that reason, I'm going to be using my guide from the front that I used in the beginning of the haircut to connect the back, okay? And this is going to be where a triangular meets round, all right? So what's going to happen is when I pull this up and I cut, it's going to leave a corner. But what happens if I go back up and I cut that corner off? It just creates another corner, right? So we don't want to do that. You actually want that corner to be there. And that's where most people start to make a mistake because they see that corner there. And because they didn't see that in the front, they automatically go in and cut that piece. And what happens when you do that, guys? You're in another haircut now, right? So to prevent that, we're just going to subdivide it down the middle. So I went ahead and I subdivided that down the middle, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece from the apex to the occipital, and I'm going to bring that straight up, okay? And I already have my piece right here that I need for my guide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate all this hair up, and right there is my guide to the front. So all this is going to be cut off. Okay. So when I bring that out, there's the corner. So don't go in and cut that, because once you cut that, you're now creating a different haircut. Okay. So you want that to be there. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pivot off of that and go into my next section. Again, I'm taking pie-shaped sections. I'm using my guide from the top to guide me into a rounded layer in the back. Now, there's a couple things you can do here. If you do what I just did and you go here with your elbow in the air, this will be the only elevation you're going to get. But how do you fix that? You fix that by dropping the elbow, okay? Right. And when you drop the elbow and go up, look how much higher I can go, right? So if my elbow was here, this is it. I can't go any higher. But when you drop your elbow and you come up, you can go as high as you want to go. So if her hair was very long, right? That's when you want to do that. That's when you want to drop that elbow and come all the way up, okay? So that's a little tip for you guys. So now, after this section is cut, I'm going to be going into the side. But what is it that I don't want to do, guys? I don't want to go ahead and bring this section all the way to here, right? Because this is already cut. So you don't want to go all the way to the side. You just want to stop right behind the ear and bring that up, elevate. Go ahead and put your fingers in that short to long rounded angle and cut. You want it a bit softer, okay? You want it a bit softer, you can go ahead and point cut those lines in and you'll get more softness. What I tend to count on is my tension, my elevation, and how clean and precise my sectioning is, all right? So I can keep subdividing these sections and waste more time, or I could just go ahead and condense everything together and cut. So I'm going to subdivide that, okay? I'm going to make sure that I'm still behind the ear here, okay? So that's where you want to stop. And then you're just going to take all of that and you're just going to elevate and cut. And again, the corner is going to be here because triangular meets round. So there's going to be a little corner there. Don't cut that corner, right? Don't do it. If you decide to go ahead and cut that corner, you're going to see exactly what I mean about changing the whole haircut now. Okay? So you want to keep everything round. You want to keep that corner there, and you want to make sure your sections are nice and clean.
I took a class in Orlando, and it reminded me, you keep talking about don't cut the corner off, but if you cut a corner off, it doesn't get rid of the corner. It just creates two more corners.
Yes, it creates another corner. I mean, and that's the thing is that, normally when we get taught a round layer haircut, or you're talking about, we're doing triangular and round together, right? But when you're learning that originally, it's almost like a mohawk section, right? So you're taking mohawk sections and you're pulling up and you're pulling up and you're pulling up. But then when you pull everything back down, you have to go back in and do a lot of this point cutting to just soften everything back up. And the reason is over direction creates what? You over direct to keep, right, to keep length. So that also adds more weight. So then that makes this a lot more heavier. So I found it that it's a lot easier to just go in and use that top section as your guide and just pull it right where you want it. And the great thing about that is that the bottom, whatever doesn't need to be there will just fall out. So you're still going to keep the length, but it just won't be such a heavy drop. You know what I mean? And I feel like the most asked for haircut right now is a shag. Everybody wants a shag. A lot of people come in, there's different variations of it. You can do them very long, you can do them shorter. My favorite is when you take a layered bob, right? And it's a little grown out, and then you change that same bob into a shag. It's a little hard to do, but I found it that it's the best for this kind of look. If my client comes in and she had more of a long bob with some layers, and she said, you know what, like I kind of want something of more of a change, then I try to bring them into more of a layered shag haircut.
And we're seeing variations too, where that round layer on top is really short. So it starts pushing into the mullet territory, but it's a really beautiful, it can be a really beautiful shape, but really strong shape as well.
Oh yeah. I tend to think about like Farrah Fawcett and her shag, and then the shags that we're seeing today. Very funny because they're very similar, but all they did was just take a little bit more length, left a little bit more length and not so choppy in the front. So if you see Farrah Fawcett's, her angles start like around her eyelids and they all push back. What we're seeing now is they're a little longer than that and they're down by the cheekbones. And now you're seeing start to incorporate more of a rounded bang or more of like a inverted bang with the shags that make it look super cool. So as you guys see, her hair is already layered. So you see where these layers are falling? It's still underneath that occipital bone. So if her hair was longer and I went to go pull it all the way up here and I cut, when I drop it, that layer is going to be right around here. So depending on the length of the hair and where you want to be with your shag, whether you're looking for more of a mid-length shag or more of a longer shag, that's going to vary depending on how much you elevate, how much hair you have, and where do you start in the front. So if I wanted to, let's say she said, you know what, I don't want my bangs to be this short. I can literally go all the way down to her jawbone, start it there, and then connect the angles in using the same technique, and it'll be a much longer, less short angled haircut. So there's different ways you can play this out, guys. And again, don't cut that corner off. And all I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm just going in, making sure everything is right where I need it to be before we start to blow dry. We're about 24 minutes in, and that's how long it took to create this haircut. So if you guys are looking to save some time, try this out. Try this out on your next haircut. Try this out on your client. When I used to practice haircutting, we had a saying, and we said, if you're going to practice on your mother-in-law. Because she's not going to like you anyway, probably. So practice on your mother-in-law, if anything. But again, I'm just going in, I'm checking that, I'm dropping, making sure everything is falling right where I need it to be. And that's the beautiful thing about round layers, right? Is that you're following the head shape, you're putting that roundness in, and you're just creating these beautiful long layers in the back. So I think she's pretty much good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start blow drying her now. So you guys might hear the blow dryer. I'm going to put these on noise cancellation. So it'll probably cut it down a little bit. But let me go ahead and just use a little bit of a thermal protection for her. And then we'll start the blow dryer, right, guys? So you can go ahead and you can diffuse this as well. I personally like how it looks when it's just diffused. I think that shag or rounded layered haircuts look the best when they're not too styled. And if you know what I mean by that, if she had a leather jacket right now and she had like this really rocky type of appearance, I think that the hair would be more messy and not so done, right? So that's what I imagine in my head with these types of haircuts. Again, it is very salon friendly. So you can definitely pull this in the salon and get away with it and your clients can love it. I personally do it all the time and it's a hit. We get a lot of requests for them. So if you guys get a chance and you are on a mannequin head right now, go ahead and try it out. Send me some pictures on Instagram. Let us know how you did. Hit up Willie on Shark Fin Willie, and just show us what you guys created using this technique. All right, guys. So I'm going to go in now. I'm starting to section her off, and I'm going to start her blow dry.
So I see, Stephanie, you put in the comments, teach us a mullet too. We're going to have so good news on our website, sharkfinshears.com. Under the education tab, you'll find all of the haircuts we've done since we started Sharkfin Academy. And we started, probably roughly 3 years ago with the Monday education classes. And we've also had 2, maybe 3 two-day education events where we have like multiple brands and multiple independent educators on. So my long-winded thing here is that you'll find on YouTube and on our website free education on how to take this exact haircut. Richie did it in a different sectioning pattern than Ira did it. But Ira took what was a shag shape that was created very similar to this, and Ira pushed it into that mullet area. It wasn't technically a mullet, but it's really creative and a beautiful cut. So you'll find that on our YouTube channel, which is Shark Fin Shears. Shark Fin Shears is 3 words, or you can find it through our website as well.
Yeah, guys. If you guys were interested in doing a mullet, for the next class, we'll see what me and Willie could work out, and we'll go ahead and show you guys that one on the next one, all right? But the differences between a shag and a mullet is that the mullet pretty much cuts off the whole side of the head. So once you go in around the parietal area and you cut that side off, or you shave it down, or you slide cut it in, which I've seen one of our other educators do it like that, Joey Blades. I've seen them cut a whole mullet just using the slide cutting technique, and it comes out beautiful. So once you cut off those sides, you can go in and you can use the round layering technique that we use in the back, and you can use that to go ahead and incorporate the mullet shape in the back as well. Give him or her some of those rounded layers to create the same effect that we did today. And you'll see how well that works. But if I was going to do a mullet, I would probably take the sections more straight out and vertical and just slide cut that. And then you'd get that mullety effect. But yes, shags can tend to look more mullety depending on how much you want to take off. So all I'm doing, guys, is I'm just kind of using my brush as a hot roller and just letting the hair set. And then I just do a little twist out. I'm not looking for too much roundness coming out of the root area. All I'm looking for is just a little bend on the end here. Like I said earlier, super popular haircut, a very high request in the salon lately. I'm here at my salon currently. We are closed today, and that's why I chose to come up here and do some educating for you guys. Also, give you guys something really cool to look at. I got some awesome graffiti in the background. So just a little bit of a change. But bear with me, guys. We can have the top to do, and I'll show you how to blow dry the front section when it comes down to the fringe. There's a couple ways to do that. I personally think that sometimes just using your hand in a blow dryer and just kind of putting some pressure on the forehead and going up like that will do the trick where you get that little flip. But I'm going to show you how to do it with your brush. So when you do this on your client, and she says, "Well, how am I supposed to style it?" This is the exact way you want to show her how to do it. So she goes home with some kind of a game plan. Because the one thing we always hear is, it's always nice to do it, right? So it's a good thing if you're going to do this haircut to show your client, hey, this is how I would take the section and put it in front of the mirror and show her how to do that. So as I'm done with these couple of sections, I will show you guys. I love educating guys. I also educate for Dabblers Pro. So if you can't catch me on here, depending on the day, we also do Instagram Lives as well. And again, here is Shark Fin as well. And it's one of my favorite figure companies out there. Not because Willie is awesome, but because the figures are amazing as well. And I personally use them on an everyday basis. So if you guys are looking for an amazing figure, I personally, one of my favorites right now is the 6.5-inch Monarch, and that's what I was using today. If you use the code DRY, you'll get a discount, and you'll also get some free stuff. You'll get 2 free texturizers and a razor along with your purchase. So get on there, guys. Look out for the Monarch, depending on what size you prefer. I personally think that a 6.5-inch is probably one of the most perfect sizes, but I do cut with the 5-inch scissors as well, depending on what I'm doing. And the best part is, guys, if you guys don't know already, when you go on the Shark Fin website, you can actually customize the scissors as well. So take a look at that. You can get some awesome color coordination. You can get different kinds of steel. I believe we have engraving on there, don't we, really?
Not currently, no. The things you can customize on your shear are the color of the inserts, the color of the knob, the tension knob. That cannot be customized on all shears. So finger sizers, finger inserts, tension system, and then also we have a couple of different color cases to choose from: pink and black. Different color inserts that are rainbow, blue, purple, pink, yellow. So there's all kinds of fun stuff on there you can customize.
That's super cool. Well, I guess I might get on there after this and customize my own. Honestly, guys, before I forget, I wanted to show you guys how I blow dry this front section. So let's say her hair is still wet. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more moisture in there. Okay. So let's say her hair is still wet, right? This is the time where you want to show your client how she's going to blow dry her bangs or her fringe. My personal favorite is to put the brush underneath the section, okay? And I just find it a lot easier this way. Sometimes I feel like when you put the brush over the section and you blow dry this way, it almost looks too news reporter. You know what I mean? Just like these big wings coming out. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put my brush underneath the section, all right? And you're just gonna same deal. If you want a little bit more volume, just elevate with your brush, right? And make sure you hit those ends really well on the way out. And just keep that motion going. You're gonna go up and around it. Make sure the sections are nice and dry before we release it. Okay. I do have thermal protection here, so it is protecting my mannequin from heat from the blow dryer. So that's really nice. So again, I'm just rolling all the way down, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm gonna hold there for a second and then roll under. So you're gonna see the kind of effect that that's going to have. Okay. So let me go in and just separate this so I can show you guys what that does. And that's going to create that winged effect right there for you. So as you see, those face framing layers just pop, right? Now, if I was to go in and let's say use a curling iron and make it more exaggerated, I can do that as well. I can do some fine tuning with a flat iron and go in and separate that, but look at that. Let's give her a good shake and move that all around and see what we got. So how quick was that, guys? We did that whole haircut in 36 minutes, okay? I've been timing it just so I can go ahead and keep that mental note on how quickly this haircut can be created. So again, wasting no time, get straight to the point, making sure that all the sections are precise. And then this is what you're gonna end up with. You're gonna end up with a wing bang in the front, along with the concave layers on the side, followed up by the round layers in the back. So it's a combination of two different shapes. You're creating your triangular layer in the front, and then you're gonna go in and you're gonna create that rounded layer in the back. And what controls all of that, guys? Our arms, our elbows, our elevation, and how much control we have throughout that whole haircut. And look, we didn't even use a texturizer. We didn't use a razor. There wasn't a lot of point cutting done. Someone once said that if you cut it the first time right, you don't have to cut it again. And here's the proof, guys. As long as you take your sections correctly and you do it with precision and you have control the whole time, you should end up with a perfectly cut haircut. Look at that. I hope you guys liked today's class. Again, my name is Richie, also known as Dry Cutter on Instagram. If you guys want a copy of this class, hit up Willie. He can send you a copy of it as well. And I hope to join you guys again on another class. Have a great day, guys.
Richie, great job, man. Thanks for jumping on. And this video will be on our YouTube and our website within about 24 hours as well. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much, Willie. I really appreciate having me today. And again, guys, don't forget to use the code DRY on Sharkfin, and you guys will get a nice little discount along with some free stuff. You'll get 2 free texturizers along with a razor, all right? I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for having me.
Take care. Thanks, everyone.